Mount logo physics.
The object apparently touched down 40 minutes ago just north of I-94.
But unfortunately, Montana right now is on complete lockdown.
So apparently the unknown object landed 40 minutes ago, and somehow Montana, a state as large as Japan, somehow is in full lockdown. It must be the fastest ever government response in human history. And somehow NASA's asteroid warning system, which has predicted asteroid coming in October 8, 2042, somehow fails to detect 9 UFOs the size of the Empire State Building landing across the world. Then damn, I'll no longer feel safe.
So you're saying it's not ours?
Obviously, 9 which you learn is actually 12 weird textured vertical bloody zeppelins landing around the world. You're still having a debate about whether it's ours. I know there's some stupid people in the world, but God, she belongs in a zoo.
Of hunting equipment and firearms to close their doors to the public. 48 hours later, and no further developments from the site.
Now, an unfamiliar military man creeps up on Miss Banks in a deserted university and somehow doesn't shock the living daylights out of her.
Crisis as the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell over 2,000 points in its worst weekly decline.
Helicopter attempts to start an air show above Miss Banks' house in the middle of the night by flying 5 meters above the house. And yes, meter is a SI unit. Americans deal with it.
Damn, well, you wrote it.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing you write as a preface. Dazzle them with the basics.
Yeah, it's great. Even if it's wrong.
Hawkeye theoretical physicists immediately stalk Louis Lane's work and proceeds to roast her work.
After about 2 hours, we run out of oxygen.
It doesn't take 18 hours to pump fresh air into a room.
Atmosphere?
Excuse me?
If their atmosphere is different from Earth, it would certainly take hours to rebalance the O2 content and pressure for us every time they open their door.
We learn that they go into the spaceship with oxygen tanks. Then this guy proceeds to say that if atmosphere and pressure happens to be different, then it will take 18 hours to provide enough air percentage for investigation's use. But let's talk about pressure distribution and diffusion. If, for example, the air inside happens to be of higher pressure, then it will just rush out. It will rush out of the chamber every time the door opens, and pumping air into the chamber is therefore galactically idiotic. And if pressure is too low, normal air of higher pressure will just rush into the chamber and displace whatever is inside it, therefore disapproving Pascal's law.
Make sure you hold on to something.
Professors flown in helicopters happens to travel to the research site on the back of pickups.
Every 18 hours, the door opens up at the bottom. That's where we go in.
Military uses where to indicate time. So instead of the gravitational pull slowly shifting from one axis to another, it sort of disappears halfway and happens to reappear meters ahead on a different plane. And the gravitational shift is not only shifted to another axis, it's also immediately transformed into the moon's gravitational magnitude, since that is always a reference for any spacey movies. Not the acting rapist, I meant the sci-fi movies. Science-y. Anyways, So,
what happens now?
They arrive.
damn, this shot was cool AF.
We both have till 0200 hours to figure something out.
Okay, what happens then?
You go back in.
Movie proceeds to treat much needed experts like shit. Superman's girlfriend expects to decipher alien language by just hearing an 8-second footage over and over again.
In North Dakota, 144 members of the St. Lawrence Pentecostal cult are feared dead after they set their compound ablaze. Their website claims the arrival of the aliens.
Pentecostal cult who has set their own compound ablaze has Jason Bourne as their pastor. The word human also disgusts aliens.
Okay.
Oh, no, not the top.
Scientific gibberish on whiteboard is gibberish.
Louise, I am Louise.
What is that? Is that a new symbol? I can't tell.
Hawkeye physicists happen to have done nothing all this while and still carried unreasonably like a child sticking around his mum. And of course, all transparent layers within alien and human is made of SeaWorld glass.
Till you reach the equipment room.
Nobody is paying attention to the first person who took off her safety equipment in a potentially hazardous alien room so she could have her vision time.
Assuming that the shells communicate with each other, they do so without detection. The air between the shells is untroubled by sonic emission or light wave.
Ian says that the air between shells is untroubled by sonic emissions and light waves. Sonic emissions, yes, cause that's sound. But light waves untroubled? The fact that you can see the bloody thing means light has interacted with the shell, and therefore is troubled, because if it's untroubled, it must mean that it's invisible since it doesn't interact with light. So it's not.
Curfew after the crackdown by the National Guard failed to prevent a third night of looting across the country.
All the protests for the aliens who came here and haven't done anything harmful at all.
What is that?
And how the hell do you even get access to multiple pounds of C4 in a research facility? Death Hallows 2 like scene. So yes, that's it. I have nothing against the movie personally, just that there's always some flaws that could be exposed, and that's what I seem to do. And guys, if you don't mind, drop a like and comment and subscribe. It's free. See you guys in the next video. Bye.